Welcome to yet another episode of the BullDog Bark, where we talk nothing but Crown Point football with head coach Craig Bazia. Coach, how you doing today?
Doing great, Ski. Great day to be a Bulldog.
And lots to talk about after the convincing win over the Maryville Pirates last week. Before we get into that, Coach, you got to be happy with the polling that has come out recently, up to number 23 in the country by the Sports Illustrated poll. That's got to be some great recognition.
Yeah, we had, to be honest with you, we had no idea that it even existed, and someone sent it our way and sent it to us, and obviously it's all subjective, but to get that type of recognition for our program is quite a feather in the hat of our kids for all the hard work they put in, and just to give them something that they want to prove that they're worthy of such accolades.
23 in the SI poll in the country, number 2 in the poll here in Indiana. So lots to live up to. I mean, it's kind of almost puts a target on your back at times, probably too.
Well, I think we know that, and it's just like the winning streaks that we have. Over the last 3 years, that people are shooting for us. They want to be the team. They want to be that Northern Illinois team, if you will, right? That comes in and so our guys have got to be ready for it. They know it, and at some point the streak's going to end. But I'm sure they don't want it to happen on their watch.
Well, a great game against the Maryville Pirates. It was the opening of the DAC conference action. It was one of those games you were worried about going in because of the speed and just the power of Maryville. But it turns out kind of a lopsided game, and the Bulldogs played great.
Yeah, I thought our kids played exceptional. All the way from the first series when we took it down and scored. I thought that was a big statement against the wind, because the wind did play a factor that game, and the defense gave up the only score they gave up in that first series, and they really buckled down after that. And I thought we kept the ball in front of us, which was a big point of emphasis that week, and rallied to the football defensively. And I don't know how many people can say this, but we had the ball 6 times in the first half and scored 6 touchdowns. And I think you probably have to go a long way back to find out someone who's done that, against the Maryville team, especially at home.
Well, offensively, once again, you had the ground game going, you had the air attack going. Larry Ellison, another great game, pounded, not so much the long runs this time, but he was a workhorse. He was pounding it up the middle.
Yeah, and I think he had maybe 20 carries for close to 120 yards, and still not bad. But anytime you go against the Maryville team, they're going to limit you with big plays, on the ground, because they all can run. Hard to run away from them. But what did happen was they paid a lot of attention to Larry. Larry had a huge game against them last year on the ground, and we knew that. We knew they'd be stacking the box and doing some things, and really open up some things in the passing game.
And it really did open them up. Lots of players involved in the passing the game, and probably none more than Gibbs.
Yeah, well, Trevor was definitely the beneficiary, and we went into the game knowing that they had 2 Division I corners, and they were probably going to win those matchups. So we tried to come up with some things where maybe we weren't going against their corners, we were going against their safeties and their linebackers, and running some hard play action, and thought we might be able to hit a few things, and really we hit just about every one of them that we dial up, and that's a credit to our players, because they did a great job of executing.
Now, Maryville had been a scoring machine in the first 2 games that they played. Only scored 13 points, with 7 against your number 1 defense. You talked about their speed. How did you battle and handle that speed?
Well, I think we learned some things last year when we played Ben Davis in the final game. It's one of those things that you live and learn. You don't lose, but you learn, right? And I think we learned some things in regards to defending teams like that. We earmarked about 3 or 4 opponents in the summer that had that Ben Davis, Maryville type speed that we would prepare against, and hopefully get us ready for a game like this. And I think it really did. I think at no point did it look like they were that much faster than us. I think our guys took really good pursuit angles, and we were able to hit some long balls on them, against their defense, which was really, really nice to see. So overall, really good game against the number 1 team in 5A, and when you do that on their field, it's certainly a feather in your cap.
Well, we, of course, want to recognize the Station 21 players of the game. Let's first start off on the defensive end, Logan Rodriguez.
Yeah, you want to recognize those players, but before I forget, I want to recognize Station 21 for hosting this. Right? It's we got a huge crowd out here today, and coming in here, and watching this podcast, and we're very appreciative of Dave Warney for his hospitality and what he's doing for our program. But defense, Logan Rodriguez. Logan's been a kid that has been around this Player of the Week for the last couple weeks, and led our team in tackles with 10, and he could have easily been a Player of the Week, the first two games. But he's a program kid. He's one of those guys that's worked his way up, played JV all the way up to last year, and he's one of our better defenders right now. And I'm so happy that he hung in there and did what he did, and now he's one of the leaders of our defense.
Offensively, we've already mentioned Trevor Gibbs. He's going to win the Players of the Game for the offensive side, along with Noah Early.
Yeah, it's hard to separate. We don't like to give him two, but when you get a guy that had the game that Trevor had, and 7 catches, 156 yards, I believe, 2 touchdowns, did a great job competing, in his blocking schemes, and also had a big interception, on defense.
Almost a pick six.
Probably could have been a pick six, but I think he decided that he wanted to run over someone instead of making a move at the goal line. But I guess he scored enough, right? And then what can you say about Noah? I mean, 11 for 14. 2 of those were throwaways. When he got a rush on him, and boy, he was putting it where it needed to be, and about as impressive as of an effort from a quarterback that I've had, really in the first half of action. That's, and then we used his feet a little bit. I think he had a rushing touchdown, ran for 33 yards as well. So hard to separate those two guys, but tremendous job by them. But they'll also tell you that none of that stuff happens with the guys that are in the trenches. And I think our offensive line did a great job. Didn't give up a sack. We had close to 450 yards total offense by the time our first team offense came out of the game midway through the third quarter.
And on special teams, it goes to C.J. Wright.
C.J. Wright has been just doing a tremendous job. Not only on special teams, but our offense and he's like our third or fourth H-back, and gives Trevor a spell and gives Lucas a spell, and but his defensive performance has been outstanding. Now, talking about that, obviously we had, I think, 8 kickoffs, 6 of them went in the end zone. So not a lot of kickoff coverage on that, but CJ's done a great job of getting down the field and doing what he's supposed to do. So really, really happy for him. Again, another program guy that just has worked his way up and is making big strides, on Friday nights.
We'll take a look at the Scout Team Players of the Week, as we do every week. This week it goes to Will Ward, Louis Tijuan, and Kingston Conway.
Yeah, all 3 of those guys have done a really, really nice job. And again, I complimented our coaches after the game too, because we've got some coaches that their job is to work with our scout team to get our scout team preparing them for our looks. And performances like we had on Friday do not happen unless we're getting a quality look from the offensive and defensive scout teams and the special teams as well. And those 3 guys provided it, and I'm so happy for guys like Will and Lou and Kingston. They've done a tremendous job prepping and listening to our coaches and doing what they need to do to get us ready for a Friday night.
The last Station 21 award is the bone-crushing hit of the week this week. 2 different players are getting that one, Mr. Soley and Mr. Miller.
Yeah, both of those guys. We couldn't separate those 2. We went back and forth, and finally said, you know what, they both deserve it. Jacob had a tremendous block on a linebacker and just sort of lifted him off his feet, and hard to miss that. And then on Trevor's return, Josh Miller did a great job, not only with a block, but making some really good judgment. He had a chance to block one, and probably would have been a block in the back. He bypassed him, went to another guy, and did a great job of getting Trevor close to the end zone. So used great judgment, which is great to see from Josh, and both those guys very, very deserving of the bone crusher hit of the game.
Once again, congratulations to all the Station 21 players of the game. And Coach, before we move on, I want to talk about something that you did on Friday night that you never do, and that's give out a game ball. Let's take a look at some of the footage from the game ball presentation on Friday night.
But when we get back, and I've never done this before, I don't have it in my hands, but this guy is getting a game ball.
Yes, sir.
Getting a game ball. Hey.
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I got injured last Friday, and I've just tried to be a teammate. I think that's all I can say, just being a good teammate, cheering on the guys.
All right, Coach. Mark Gonzalez, I know he's injured for the season. We heard from him as well and his feelings about getting that game ball. Talk to me about Mark in that game ball situation.
Yeah, they, Mark had an unfortunate injury in the Arizona college prep game, and just, the heart and soul of our defense. The sophomore last year was all conference for us, and just gut wrenching to see anytime a young man who's put the type of work that he has done and put in the weight room and out of the weight room and everywhere else. I mean, he's just the epitome of what we look for in a Bulldog football player. And unfortunately, he won't be with us the rest of the year. And we sort of dedicated this game to Gonzo, and I thought our guys did it in the right way. When you go over there and have a victory like we did at Maryville, and so decided for the first time in my career to give a game ball out to someone, and hopefully it means a lot to him, and he understands how much he's in our prayers, and he's not done. He's gonna go ahead and get surgery, and he'll be back better than ever next year. And like I told him, just a minor setback for a huge comeback next year. So Gonzo, we love you, and all the players love him, and we're able to give him that game ball this week, signed by everyone. So just wanted to make sure that everybody knew what the tribute was.
Well, we have plenty more to come here on the Bulldog Bark. We're going to talk to a couple players that are going to be joining us here. And we just want to thank the Nicola Group, who is our sponsor, and of course, Station 21 as well. We'll be right back with more in just a little bit. Back here at the Bulldog Bark, and now I am joined by junior Trevor Gibbs. He wears number 39. And Trevor, incredible game against Maryville, obviously, and Coach was talking a lot about you did it on offense, you did it on defense, you never come out of the game. Talk to us a little bit first about offensively, how you and Noah were able to connect so much.
I think it really starts, in the winter. During weights, some days we go out to the turf field that we got, we throw, get our timing down, our connection down, and then we do more stuff off the field, building chemistry and stuff like that.
Okay, all right. Defensively, you had an interception, almost had the pick six. Coach was saying if you made a move at the end, you probably would have had it, but you wanted to knock somebody down. But
just my mindset.
Talk about, there's not many players that play two ways, and especially you, every single snap. Talk about how difficult that is, and kind of the mental things that you go through to get ready for a game.
It's pretty hard, I'd say, but the coaches we have, they get me prepared, always getting me ready. Coach Granger, anytime I'm not doing something offensively, he pulls me aside so I can learn something defensively, and it's vice versa, really. So they really get me prepared.
Secretly, just between you and me, you like offense better or defense?
I can't do that. I can't do that.
No one's gonna know. No one's gonna know. So what part of the game, of your game, I know you said you did a lot of work in the off season. Did you try to really improve on?
I'd say speed, probably. Yeah, because I know I got power. If I get speed and power combined, it's just different, really.
Okay.
Hard to stop.
So what kind of, what are you doing to try to get to that speed?
Really, Coach Garrett in the weight room, he helped me a lot with setting me up with a workout, a lot of cleans. And then I go on the turf. We got turf indoors, so right after I'm done working out, go on the turf, do some runs. I bring my teammates too. We all put in the work, so we do like bands and stuff, a lot of jumping stuff.
Okay. Hoping to play at the next level, are you?
Yeah.
After you're only a junior, but is that your desire?
Yeah, that's the goal.
That's the goal. Okay. Well, Trevor Gibbs joining us here once again. For all of you that are just tuning in to the Bulldog Bark, you got the Lake Central Indians coming up this week. What's sort of in the talk early in the week about the game plan for the Indians?
Well, really is Coach Buzz. He reminded us, we saw the game against Notre Dame and NIU. He reminded us they're NIU, we're Notre Dame. They're trying to come knock us off, but we got to stay focused. We're not going to let it happen.
Okay. Well, he's a fun one to watch. Make sure you're out there Friday night watching him again. Trevor, thanks for joining us today. Appreciate you. Enjoy it, and we'll see you Friday night.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll be back with more Bulldog Bark here in just a little bit. We're going to take a quick break and hear from the Nicola Group. Welcome back to the BullDog Bark. Today we are joined here by Lucas Saborski. Lucas, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you here and talk to you a little bit. Let's before we get into the action and what you did and stuff this last game. You're back.
Yep.
You're back. You moved to Tennessee. You're back in 7th grade, and now you're back kind of with the group that you maybe played Pee Wee and everything with.
Yeah.
Talk about that move and what it feels like to be back with these guys.
Yeah, it feels surreal. It's like different growing up with those guys, and then my dad getting a new job and having to like move away and not really know anyone, and now like getting a chance to like play with them again. It's like kind of like a warm-hearted feeling. It doesn't really feel real right now. Like I'm still like in the moment about it, but I mean it's great. I love the guys, love the team, love everything. I'm excited.
Pretty smooth transition coming back.
Yeah. Getting able to like hook up with the guys again, it's great.
Well, I'm sure Crown Point will be happy to hear that you're also a wrestler,
Yep.
a state champion wrestler in Tennessee. So talk to us a little bit about the dual sports that you play there.
Yeah, so wrestling won my sophomore year and my junior year down in Tennessee, and then gonna wrestle this year. Hopefully get my 3rd title. But football and wrestling just go hand in hand. I've always said that. It's like peanut butter and jelly.
Okay.
Coming to tackling, stuff like that, yeah.
Well, let's talk about the game that you played on Friday night. Coach said you're one of the, obviously one of the starting linebackers, but you got to see dual action and actually get into the end zone a couple of times. Talk about your movement to the offensive side and what you bring to the offense.
Yeah, I just think I bring like a versatile look for our team on offense and defense. Getting to help my team stop them from scoring, but then also getting to help my team score points for us. And I mean, it's great. Get my quarterback throwing me the ball, my teammates helping me. Yeah.
Well, defensively, I mean, we got to talk about this incredible defense that the Bulldogs have. Almost 3 weeks in a row, you're only giving up 7 points a game, it seems like. What is it about this defense that's so powerful?
I mean, it just goes back to the weight room, the summer workouts, the early mornings. It's everyone being bought into our program, on and off the field too. In the classroom, we expect high things from everyone, our teammates, and the outcomes on the field when we were whooping on teams and most of our starters getting pulled out during the first half. It's great.
Well, Trevor wouldn't tell me, but maybe you will. Secretly, just between you and me, no one else will know. Offense or defense, which one you like more?
Defense.
Defense.
Just love hitting people. I mean, it's always been that way, and I'll always choose defense over offense.
That's the
Coach Buzz doesn't hear that though.
No, I don't think Buzz heard that, so we'll keep it that way. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. Best of luck on Friday. We're going to take another quick break, and when we return, things will wrap up with Coach Buzz about Lake Central. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm David Warney from Station 21. I just want to take the opportunity to thank Mark and Coach Buzz for letting us be the proud sponsor of the BullDog Bark. Have a great football season. Go Dogs.
All right, we're back for more talk about Crown Point football here on the BullDog Bark with Coach Bazia. Coach, before we get into this week's game against Lake Central, you got to love Station 21 and the food they have here today. Let's do a little review. What did you have to eat today?
Well, I had the pork chops, and man, were they good. A lot of people think that, I come to Station 21 because there's a sandwich named after me, and I did not have that, but I would highly recommend it. But I did have the pork chops. The food here, I mean, you can't go wrong. I'm a big lake perch guy here as well. Pork chops are great. Burgers are great. I mean, it's outstanding food. So we love it here, and we appreciate everything they do here at Station 21.
Well, you know me, I'm a barbecue guy,
Yep.
and they had a barbecue pork sandwich here. I said, it's not a barbecue place. How good could it be? I tried it. It was phenomenal. So
Well,
really enjoyed it.
as fast as you ate it, I'm not sure you tasted it. But I mean, it was
Probably showing how good it was.
It was devoured, that's for sure.
It was great. Well, let's get into this week's game. Lake Central this week. We're back at home. 3 home games already in the short season against an Indian team that was much improving last year. What can we expect this week?
Yeah, Lake Central is a team that's much improved, and you know, they're 2-1 coming into the game and played a state champion out in Grand Rapids in Michigan week 2 and played them right down to the wire. So very impressed what Coach Koulianos has done with them, and they're going to bring 10 defensive starters back on their defense, and it's a pretty dynamic playmaker at quarterback. So you know, as always, anytime you go against a dueling conference opponent, you're going to have to be ready, because I think Lake Central has been very impressive.
And you're back at home. I know you get 4 or 5 home games this year. I'm not sure exactly how many, but 3 of them are going to be done already. So you're going to have quite a few road games coming up.
We do, and this is one of those tough schedules where you're going to play teams on the road that you know, pretty formidable, and you know, later in the year, and it's just how the schedule rolls. But you know, I love being at home. Our crowd is absolutely fantastic. I know we're supposed to get some great weather. You know, and our kids just thrive on being at home, and the support that we get is unreal. So yeah, we'll come home and you know, welcome all our crowd, and look forward to having a great game against Lake Central.
It happens at BullDog Stadium, 7 o'clock on Friday night. Make sure you're out there and rooting on the Bulldogs as they face the Lake Central Indians. Well, Coach, I appreciate you coming in today again here at Station 21. We look forward to the game on Friday and talking about it next week.
Thank you, Ski. Thanks for having us, and appreciate it, and go Dogs.
We'll be back next week with more Bulldog Bark. Make sure you're tuning in. Before that, make sure you're heading out to the game on Friday night. We'll see you next week.